Just in case.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2024 City of Rancho Mirage Candidates Forum. My name is Katie Stice. I'm your CEO of the amazing Rancho Mirage Chamber of Commerce. We have a great program for you today. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Ready, begin. Thank you. You may take your seats. So just before we get started today, who is your Rancho Mirage Chamber of Commerce? In short, we're a champion for business, a catalyst for growth, a conveners of leaders and influencers. We're made up of 640 business members. We represent 15 to 20,000 employees locally. We are economic development, and our belief is that small business is the heartbeat of America. I do need to cover some rules for today. Today's forum is not a debate. Therefore, participants will not be given time for rebuttal. Participants are asked to stay on topic, time allowed, and refrain from personal attacks. The audience is asked to remain quiet and respectful. Thank you for keeping this a kind forum for all. At this time, I'd like to welcome today's moderator. He is owner of Johnson Commercial Real Estate, immediate past chairman of the board of directors, past chair of our advocacy committee. Please give a warm welcome for Matt Johnson.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Matt Johnson, as Katie mentioned. Welcome, candidates. Thank you for being here, and thank you to all of you for being here. We have a very exciting program ahead, as Katie said. Matt Johnson, President, Johnson Commercial Real Estate. I've worked with Katie and the Chamber for 6 years now, and tonight I'm going to be your forum moderator. We have 5 candidates who are running for 2 city council seats, and we have 4 parts to tonight's forum. First part, we're going to ask each candidate for an opening statement. They'll have 3 minutes. Then we have some prepared questions. They'll each have 60 seconds to answer those questions. Then we have some yes/no questions, and you guys, all the candidates have paddles that they'll be holding up signs either yes or no if they agree with me or not. And then we'll wrap up with some closing statements. This event tonight is going to be aired on Rancho Mirage TV from October 20th through Election Day. Both on Rancho Mirage TV on Spectrum Channel 17 in Rancho Mirage and on the Rancho Mirage the Rancho Mirage Chamber YouTube channel. Candidates, Katie Stice is your timekeeper. She has time to tell you how much time you have left, and then and when you're done, she has to stop, and then if you're keep talking, she's got that one. That one she points to the people in the back. Turn the mic off. So I think what we're going to do is have a great time tonight. I think everybody's going to be very polite tonight, so we're looking forward to that. As we begin, we're going to do introduction statements, and we're going to start, Nate, with you. Please introduce yourself and share why you are qualified to be a Rancho Mirage City Council member, and what experience do you have that supports these qualifications. 3 minutes.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Nate Lewis, and I'd like to thank you all for being here this evening. I'd also like to thank the Chamber for hosting this event. And I want to also publicly thank Michael and Ted for their service and contributions to the city, as well as congratulate Wayne and Michael on their, or Gregory, I'm sorry, on their campaigns. The Coachella Valley is my home. I was raised here. I went to school here. My first job was in Rancho Mirage, and as soon as I graduated from college, I came right back home. For more than a decade, I've helped the businesses grow here and played a vital role in creating hundreds of jobs right here in the Coachella Valley, while helping residents make the transition to cleaner and more affordable energy. In addition to helping create jobs, I've supported many other local businesses and charities through the years. I dedicated 6 years of service to the Chamber of Commerce, where I was on the executive board and was the chairman in 2022. During my time with the Chamber, membership grew drastically, we grew our reserves, and we made a very positive impact on our community and helped many businesses survive during the COVID pandemic. Serving on the board allowed me the opportunity to work with some of the best business minds we have here in the Coachella Valley and create great relationships. This experience, coupled with my own business experience, has given me an unrivaled understanding of our business community, which will be needed as the city looks to fill vacant buildings and attract businesses back to Rancho Mirage. Empty buildings attract crime and lower property values. I know how important public safety is to our community, and it is my #1 priority. I will ensure that Rancho Mirage is a safe and clean community so that we can continue to attract visitors from around the globe and ensure our residents enjoy the level of security they have come accustomed to and deserve. My hands-on business experience and stance on public safety are important, but those alone do not make me qualified for City Council. What does is my ability to work well with others, great work ethic, my commitment to do what is best for Rancho Mirage and its residents, my commitment to be transparent and honest, and my commitment to listen to public feedback and study the issues in order to make the most informed decisions. A vote for me is a vote for public safety, fiscal responsibility, responsible development, thriving businesses, and a city government that puts the needs of our residents first. Thank you.
Thank you, Nate. And next, Mr. Gregory Goodman. I will read to you the question again, or do you?
I think I got it.
You think you got it? All right, good.
Thank you. Katie, thank you. Rancho Mirage Chamber is an amazing chamber, and everyone knows about it, and its growth is incredible. Thank you again for hosting this. I grew up in a small town in Ohio, and my dad was a small business owner. So I know about small business, and I've had a small business for over 40 years. Owning a small business is like running a country. You have to do everything. And I mean everything. I mean, you clean the bathrooms, you do everything you have to do. And then having that small business, I branched out and I opened, it's called Wedding Warriors, and it was for all the event professionals out here. We made connections together, and we met every month at a different venue and built relationships. And it was all about relationship building with other businesses. We had over 100 businesses. And I really miss that, but COVID kind of made it go away. But being a small business owner, I see a need for more businesses out here. The vacant buildings, like Nate said, is for, crime sees that. And we really need to get more boots on the ground and really start going after those criminals. And, speaking of that, I went into work today and my van was gone. So someone stole one of our vans. So, it's all about that, getting more people out there and really protecting the citizens and just helping the people and being there for the people. And that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Weill.
Thank you, Matt, and thank you, Katie and the Chamber. I've expressed my feelings about the Chamber numerous times. My name is Ted Weill. I have lived in Rancho Mirage full-time for 26 years. My current occupation is Rancho Mirage City Council member, where I have been honored to have served for the past 12 years, including 2 terms as mayor. My leadership has been instrumental in maintaining balanced budgets, a strong reserve, and ensuring the financial health of Rancho Mirage. I am seeking re-election to continue the momentum and work underway in all aspects of the city's operations to benefit our residents and businesses. I love my work, and I am motivated by the support and involvement of our residents and business owners that make my job enjoyable. I interact with many of you every day at the local Starbucks to gather crucial community input. Yeah, I know, I see you. I'm a proud United States Navy veteran. I graduated from the Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania, and my MBA was from Pepperdine University. I have passed balanced budgets every year since I was elected and maintained a healthy reserve. I've proudly dedicated the Rancho Mirage Community Park, an amphitheater, the Rancho Mirage Dog Park, and Rancho Mirage Observatory. I was involved in the revitalization of the Rancho Las Palmas Shopping Center by creating additional ingress and egress, eliminated employee pension spiking practices, paid off the unfunded pension liabilities, brought in the finest luxury auto corridor and car dealerships to the city of Rancho Mirage. Rancho Mirage Children's Discovery reopened to provide hands-on learning and programs to children and their family. I am on the board of the world-class Rancho Mirage Writers Festival, which garners international reputation, and the undergrounding of utility lines. I represent our residents as chairman of the Coachella Valley Association of Governments CVAG Executive Committee, the CVAG Transportation Committee alternate, chairman of the Cove Community Services Commission, which oversees the Jocelyn Senior Center and Public Safety, McCallum Theater Liaison, and a delegate to the Palm Springs Unified School District. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Weill. Mr. Avrashow.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Katie, and thank everyone for attending. You're invested in your community, and that's fantastic. We have a great community, and we ought to be invested. I'm running to preserve, protect, and improve Rancho Mirage. When I say preserve, I want to preserve our quality of life. I want to have smart growth, and I want to involve the community more than has previously done. I want to protect us. I want to add a sheriff's patrol. I want to accelerate the building of a third fire station, and I want to improve our city, and it starts with the city council. We need to have a more responsive and transparent city council. Everybody in this room is for ethics in government, but it's hard to state with certainty that you're for ethics in government when you keep having appointments and not elections. 3 out of the 4 council members were initially appointed. I think that's fundamentally wrong. Appointments should be the exception to the rule. I have decades of experience in government, law, and business. In government, my first job was at Los Angeles City Hall. I was chief of staff to 2 fantastic Los Angeles City Council members. One became a political legend, my dear friend Zev Yaroslavsky. Bob Ronka was the other councilman. Zev, Bob, and I did, I think, terrific things there, including the most noteworthy was I helped draft the Los Angeles City Charter Amendment that held down the cost not only to Los Angeles taxpayers, but to California taxpayers. So the 1984 Olympic Games could be run without cost to California taxpayers. That was important, and it carries forward to every Olympic Games thereafter. I was in business. I was an officer of 2 corporations, one public, one private, and I've been an attorney for 30 plus years, including I was business and real estate, and I was a court-appointed mediator. I know how to solve problems. I know how to reach consensus. I know business, I know law, and I know government. And I know we can do better in Rancho Mirage. I have a passion for public service. That may be odd to have a passion for public service, but I have it. And that passion propels me to donate my first year's salary to local charities so we can help and benefit the community as best we can. I'd be honored to have your vote on Election Day. I know this job. I'm ready on day 1 to serve. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr. Avrashow. Mr. O'Keefe.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here tonight. I've owned a home in the Coachella Valley for 43 years. I've lived here full-time for 26 years, and I've been in Rancho Mirage going on 6 years. By the time of this election, I will have served almost a full year on the City Council. It is an honor, and it's a big responsibility to fill the legendary Mayor Richard Kite's term. I'm honored that Mayor Kite has endorsed me in this upcoming election, as have all the former mayors, Dana Hobart, Iris Smotrich, and Charlie Townsend. I'm also endorsed by my colleagues on the City Council, Mayor Steve Downs, Mayor Pro Tem Ted Weill, and Councilmember Lynn Mulatto, plus more than 100 leaders across the valley. As a council member, I have voted for affordable housing, workforce housing, increased public safety, a new skilled nursing facility, many cultural programs, parks and trails improvements, and much more. I initiated the programs for improved cell phone reception and the upcoming pet fair this Saturday right here at the library to benefit the animal shelter. I am the city representative to the Jocelyn Center, the Children's Discovery Museum, the Animal Campus, the Bighorn Sheep Institute, and the Conservation Commission. I've been a city commissioner for 2 cities, Rancho Mirage and Desert Hot Springs. And when I lived there, I was on the Economic Development Committee, the Parks and Recreation Committee, the Redevelopment Successor Agency, and I was vice president of the Chamber of Commerce. I have been a board director for Family Services of the Desert and Food Now. I was president of the Western Arts Council at the Palm Springs Art Museum, president of Cabot's Pueblo Museum, and president of the Gay Men's Chorus of Palm Springs. I had 2 careers. I spent 25 years managing large department stores like Macy's and Robinson's, and I was general manager of the famous Bullock's Wilshire in Los Angeles. When HIV and the AIDS epidemic hit, there was no cure or treatment, and I had dozens of employees that got sick and died. I felt compelled to help people, so I switched careers. I got a master's degree in counseling psychology. I entered into a PhD program at USC, and then I spent the next 20 years in the mental health field. It was the most rewarding work I had ever done until I became a city council member. I love my city, I'm proud to be of service, and I'm respectfully asking for your vote. And one more thing. Mr. Avrashow, in August, hired a Los Angeles-based attorney to issue a cease and desist letter to my campaign stating I violated campaign laws. None of this falsified claims are true. The smear campaign is an attempt to manufacture an issue where there is none. Anyone who knows me knows I follow the law. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. I think you can see that we have 5 excellent candidates, which is going to be very important for the city of Rancho Mirage going forward. And now we have some questions for each of you. We'll keep the order the same, starting with Nate, and you have 60 seconds to answer these questions, and then we have a series of 8 questions. What are your 3 most pressing issues for Rancho Mirage over the next 2 years?
All right. Public safety is job number 1. We're adding several new homes, which is going to increase our population, and we need to be proactive in this, and we need to support strong budgets for public safety. It's essential to Rancho Mirage. I'll also use my experience to help fill vacant commercial buildings, which attract crime and lower property values. Number 2 is meeting the state-mandated housing element. We've already proved close to 75% of the homes that we need, but as we have less and less land to build on, we need to make sure that we're taking a holistic approach to future development and make sure that the community is informed and educated so that we could have meaningful conversations and receive feedback from our community to be considered along with the professional studies. Number 3 is we'll need to fill the vacant seat on our city council so that we have all the seats filled to ensure that business can get done and that we have another great mind to help propel Rancho Mirage forward.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Mr. Goodman.
Mine would be small businesses, of course. Bringing other new businesses and helping small businesses here. I've went around and talked to small businesses, and they're hurting big time. Some need funds, some need help in some way. By giving them some type of a loan, even at a 1% rate, would help these small businesses come into town, or even businesses come into town. I mean, we lost the Porsche dealership to Palm Springs, which would have been wonderful for Rancho Mirage. And also, there's also this small business, the new law that was put into effect the other day, and 2024. It's against small businesses. If you run for office, you can't be a businessman. It just states that if you're in office, you can't do business with any other businesses that do business with Rancho Mirage. Say if I want to do a party at the Ritz-Carlton, I cannot do that party if I'm on the council. Now that is not fair business practices. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Goodman. Mr. Weill.
Thank you, Matt. Challenge number 1 is public safety. Public safety is an investment, not a cost. I have successfully supported an increase in the budget for our sheriff and firefighters, resulting in double the police officers than the national average. 2, as the change is inevitable, I commit to manage strategic growth and retain our small city quality of life. The need of medical facilities will have to grow with the change. I supported Eisenhower Health, expanding their services with a new cardiac facility, memory care center, and child care center. Challenge 3 is to assure economic vitality in Rancho Mirage by nurturing the city's relationship with the business community. To do that, I committed to provide more workforce housing for our business, employers, hospitality, and first responders. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Weill. Mr. Avrashow.
Okay, 3 issues. It starts with the transparent city council. I trust 10,000 voters to decide, not 4 people in a back room. I want to engage the community much more frequently and in depth on major issues. Cotino will increase the population of Rancho Mirage 15 to 20%, call it 18%. Inadequate mitigation measures were imposed by the city. Third, cell phone coverage. This is a problem for many, many years. Mr. Downs is here. He was quoted in the Desert Sun on July 26th, quote, failure on the part of the city. Steve, we may not agree on much, but I agree with you on that. So I would have action. There's about two dozen permits have been issued that have not been acted upon. Wheel back to those 2 dozen, find out what the problem is. We don't need a $200,000 bureaucratic study. We need action. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. O'Keefe.
Thank you. 1, we must continue to address affordable housing and workforce housing. We have made significant progress, but we got to do more. 2, emphasizing economic development balanced with conscientious planning that is strategic, thoughtful, and careful about what we approve and when we approve it. These decisions will affect us for years to come, so we got to get it right. 3, prioritizing public safety. It doesn't matter how nice your home is if you don't feel safe. I meet regularly with Lieutenant Espinoza and CSO Albanesius from the Sheriff's Department. They assure me that on a per capita basis, no city in the Valley has a more comprehensive public safety program than Rancho Mirage, and we're always looking for ways to strengthen it. Fully 44% of our budget expenses goes to public safety, and I consider my pet project, cell phone reception, as a safety issue. We're developing a plan for that. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, candidates, some municipalities provide financial incentives for both new and existing businesses, such as low interest rate loans, workforce training, facade enhancement grants, sales tax sharing, TOT sharing, etc. Will you support a variety of financial incentives for businesses and why? Mr. Lewis.
Okay. I'm in favor of supporting financial incentives as long as the outcome can be a win-win for everyone involved. As we look to fill vacant buildings and attract new businesses or conferences in Rancho Mirage, these incentives can prove to be valuable if done correctly. Good relationships with our business community and a deep understanding of our businesses will be vital to make this program successful. I believe my experience of operating and owning businesses in Rancho Mirage and my experience leading the Chamber of Commerce will prove valuable in this area.
Thank you. Mr. Goodman.
Well, I definitely believe in it. Helping small business in any way or any businesses in any way is a must. If we don't have those businesses, how are the people going to, we need those services for all the people in Rancho Mirage. And we need to help the small businesses and also the large businesses. We need to bring new businesses in. And it all has to be a good mix. You can't have 15 places that are all the same place at one place. You need diversity. And I think by bringing in different diverse people and different diverse businesses, I think that helps the city a lot.
Thank you. Mr. Weill.
Thanks, Matt. A major yes. We have always supported a variety of financial incentives. The COVID-19 pandemic Great Plates program was an example where we provided money to the restaurants to keep them alive during the period that as long as they provided meals for our most vulnerable seniors. It was a win-win situation. We helped revitalize the Ritz-Carlton Rancho Mirage when Lehman Brothers failed financing. I supported the city to provide TOT sharing and a loan to the Ritz-Carlton. And in addition, we brought in the finest luxury auto corridor and car dealerships by providing a loan to the business. The Auto Center is one of the 25 highest sales tax generators in Rancho Mirage. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Weill. Mr. Avrashow.
Yes, Matt. 50% of our city's revenue derives from sales tax and bed tax, so we have to always promote that, always look out for that. The way to do that is to hire an economic development manager that reports to the city manager, who will be the point person to retain, assist, and attract businesses. We want to keep that 50% flowing. If you look around our city, you can see Lord Fletcher's been vacant for some time. I know my wife and her family love Lord Fletcher's. Amazon Fresh, who knows what's going on there? We have to, with the city, what we can do is expedite approvals, streamline the permitting process for any business that wants to come to Rancho Mirage that we desire. That's what we should do. We should be proactive. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Avrashow. Mr. O'Keefe.
Thank you. Since the state discontinued redevelopment funds, cities are unable to draw just from a big pot of money to promote businesses. So we want to provide incentives, but it can't be a one-size-fits-all arrangement because each business is different. Some may need a new facade. Some may need new zoning for parking. There may be a need for a TOT rebate. That is why we have a smart economic development team consisting of our city manager, our assistant city manager, our marketing director, and all of the directors at City Hall, because any one of those departments might be used as an incentive to support businesses. Our city is very business friendly, and we not only encourage new businesses, but we work closely with the dynamic Chamber of Commerce to help support existing businesses to succeed. Providing financial incentives is just part of the overall support. Thank you.
Thank you. Our member businesses have expressed concerns about crime and homelessness. What will you do to reduce crime and address homelessness in Rancho Mirage?
Thank you, Matt. Strong budgets for police and code compliance. We need to fill our vacant buildings with businesses that are thriving, and we need to reach out and mentor our youth to make sure that they grow up to be productive citizens. Hear that, bud? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Mr. Goodman.
I think adding more boots to the ground and making sure they're there, we need more oversight over that. I know we keep on throwing money at it, but it's not working. We need to make sure it's working, and we need to start having an oversight committee over that. And, you know, I've heard about police on the motorcycles, whatever, and I've never seen one yet. They're supposed to be here, but I haven't seen one. Many people in my neighborhood in Del Webb have been robbed already. Probably 10 to 15 homes have been robbed this year. And it needs to stop, and I think we need more security.
Thank you. Mr. Weill.
Thank you, Matt. To reduce property crime, a strong public safety program is a must. I agreed that we have doubled the number of public safety officers, and indeed, we have more boots on the ground and more motorcycle officers, from 4 to 6 per day. I also support the use of ALPRs, the automated license plate readers, that has proven to be an invaluable asset. We have access to the Sheriff Department's drone and helicopter services. We have a great relationship with law enforcement. I personally go on ride-alongs. I've seen how they operate. I see how they coordinate their activities with forensic. They have done a phenomenal job. I can't say enough, and I thank you for your service. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Mr. Weill. Mr. Avrashow.
Your question was on crime and homelessness, correct? All right, let's address both. Public safety is job number one. I've said that since day one. It's on my flyer. It's on my webpage. I want to add the patrol, add a sheriff's patrol, accelerate the third fire station. Let's talk about homelessness, how it's a human tragedy. It's a human tragedy and affects everybody. Homeless people are, a lot of them suffer from mental illness, substance abuse. There are our brothers and sisters, our sons and daughters. So what we have to do, we have to be vigilant. It's not a major problem in Rancho Mirage, but we have to be vigilant it does not become one. We need the Department of Social Services, Riverside County. Social workers have a role, lend a hand, but at some point the sheriff's office has to be involved. So, but we want to house people and provide them services because it's a human tragedy we have to address. So focus on that and humane, but if we need to, the sheriff's office has to step in. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Avrashow. Mr. O'Keefe.
Thank you. The city makes donations to charities that assist the homeless, including Housing First, Elder Love, Habitat for Humanity, Martha's Village, and the Coachella Valley Rescue Mission. I have met with the officers who explained to me how they handle encounters with someone who is homeless. They are offered first assistance with shelter or with medical issues. Then they're told that there's no overnight camping allowed in Rancho Mirage. So then they either accept the help or they move out of the city, sometimes just across the street. That's why a regional approach is important for this. We traditionally have a very low violent crime rate, but we have a higher than average property crime rate. Our residents have a higher median income and higher median home values. That attracts people who want to steal things. That's why we have a comprehensive program with the Sheriff's Department, and at every budget meeting, we increase the amount for public safety. It is the city's #1 responsibility, and it always will be. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please share your thoughts on the current Rancho Mirage economic development landscape and explain your vision for the city's future.
My vision for the city's future is a robust local economy with thriving businesses that our community is able to love and enjoy. I'm excited to see the results of the Valley-wide economic study that is being completed now and to work with other members of council and city staff to see where Rancho Mirage can capitalize and do better. I believe that our city and chamber has laid a solid foundation that we can now take to the next level to help all businesses in Rancho Mirage. The study that's happening right now is for the greater Coachella Valley, and as we zero in on what's going to work there, we could really figure out what's going to happen in Rancho Mirage. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Mr. Goodman.
Yes. My whole thing is let's look at the river. The river is failing, and it needs help. We need to bring in some type of new businesses, even small businesses there. Work with the developer in lowering the rents. I know we just lost Babe's, which is an amazing restaurant. I used to love it. That was actually one of the first restaurants we went to when we moved here. And, we lost, oh my gosh, so many restaurants there, it's not even funny. We lost, oh my God, Lord Fletcher's, which was probably one of my favorite restaurants too. We need to help these people. And I talked to small business, I talked to restaurants in the Valley, and they're saying that they're down over 50% for the summer, which is really bad. We need to help them and bring in more, financial funds for them or something to help them. And thank you, Katie.
Thank you. Mr. Weill.
We have always been pro-business, and our track record proves that. For example, we streamlined the permitting process to enhance the opening of new businesses and the expansion of existing businesses. We're committed to providing workforce housing for our business employers in Rancho Mirage. We value the partnership with the Rancho Mirage Chamber of Commerce and visit Greater Palm Springs for their efforts in promoting tourism and small businesses. My vision for the city's future is focused on the 1900 Catino project, which will be transformative, not only for Rancho Mirage, but the entire Coachella Valley. The Catino project will also provide workforce housing for our citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Weill. Mr. Avrashow.
Well, I've heard tonight and elsewhere how great the business efforts are of the city, but I look around. Greg is right. Greg Goodman is right. The river is in trouble. Cotino is going to add a shopping center about 2/3 the size of the river, so the problem's going to be exacerbated. We need to be proactive and proactive now. There is a valley-wide study. Mr. Lewis is correct. When that's coming, we ought to be really quick to have an economic development manager. Michael talked about a variety of people at the city assisting. Fine. We need one person, the point person. So if a business needs some help, they know they can go to that man or woman who will shepherd it through, an economic development manager. And while we're at it, we can be creative. I played pickleball a couple times. I had a bad leg injury. I'm not the best. But we can have pickleball tournaments in the Coachella Valley. Think about it. I saw them on ESPN. We can have them here. What a stimulus that would be. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Avrashow. Mr. O'Keefe.
Thank you, Matt. Everyone agrees that we need an economic development plan, and we have an economic development team that works in conjunction with the fantastic Katie Stice and the Chamber of Commerce. They attract business, and they help them succeed with a series of programs and lectures and seminars that help the businesses flourish. The City Council agreed to wait until Visit Greater Palm Springs has completed their economic development plan for the entire valley. Then we will develop our specific plan for Rancho Mirage. We have great opportunities for businesses, especially along Highway 111. I was a general manager of major department stores for 25 years. I know the challenges that retail stores and restaurants face, and yes, we have had some closures here. But the city has a track record, and our business license applications are equal or better than last year. And we've attracted new businesses like Dave & Buster's, REI, Cowboy Cantina, Slinging 360, Sensei Porcupine Creek. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, what will you do to help Lord Fletcher's open again? No, just kidding.
I eat a lot, Matt.
Yeah. What is your position on future development of residential and business areas while maintaining resources and quality of life in Rancho Mirage?
Thank you, Matt. Rancho Mirage is known for the quality of life we have here. We need to protect that and consider all future development very carefully and do our due diligence before approving new projects. We need professional studies and public input to make the most informed decisions. If done correctly, we can complement existing areas and enhance the quality of life for everyone. Future developments also provide us an opportunity for workforce housing, which will greatly benefit all the employers in the valley, attract and retain workers that care and serve our residents. We have too many businesses right now that are unable to attract people here because the cost of living is too high. The people that we count on at Eisenhower, they're not able to get the staffing that they always need, and also our hotels and small businesses need more workers that don't have to commute so far. So if we consider all these things, I think we could do something very good for our community, but we've just got to be very careful with less and less land to develop. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Mr. Goodman.
Well, I agree with that. And I also agree with transparency. We need transparency in the city. The current city council members say they're against short-term rentals. That's correct, right? Well, in a backroom deal at Cotino, they're allowed to have short-term rentals. Did everyone know that? And if that's not enough, it is true. It is true. And if
Matt,
that's not enough,
people commenting from
these,
the crowd.
yeah. These are proven facts. These same council members dissolved the Architectural Commission because they were trying to hold Cotino to the architectural standards of Rancho Mirage. And they got rid of that commission because they didn't meet it. They didn't meet with the, I can't even say it, architectural standards. And if that's not enough, they just dissolved the whole commission. And that is true.
Thank you, Mr. Goodman. Mr. Weill.
Thanks, Matt. There's not much land, vacant land left in Rancho Mirage. I support well-designed and high-quality residential and commercial growth. I support the plan of workforce housing for our business employers. There's no reason we cannot have both. For example, the annexation of 257 acres of Agua Caliente land in Rancho Mirage will allow for even more workforce housing, commercial and hospitality development. As for sustainable resources, the Catino project has a water conservation system in place. We also approved the turf and solar rebate programs demonstrating our commitment to water conservation and sustainability. The Rancho Mirage Energy Authority buys power in bulk and distributes to our residents at a lower cost than Southern California Edison. And there is also a green option offering a solar and battery rebate. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Weill. Mr. Avrashow.
Well, we all want to have balanced growth. We all want to have smart growth. But look at Cotino. Look what the council did. Over 1,900 dwelling units, 400 hotel rooms, and a shopping center about 2/3 the size of the river. I've been endorsed by the doctor who's head of the emergency room at Eisenhower. He and I chatted about the impact on Eisenhower Health from that development. The city did not ask for, did not require meaningful mitigation measures. So 1,900 dwelling units, about 18% increase, about 3,500 residents. It's going to impact Eisenhower. It's going to impact traffic, police, fire. It's going to impact everything. And the city whiffed. We could have had some affordable housing. We could have had some workforce housing right there, right at Cotino. Or if the developer said no, then what you do in cities, you receive a fee in lieu to take those funds and build it and leverage those funds and build it elsewhere. So we want smart growth, but smart growth takes action. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Avrashow. Mr. O'Keefe.
Thank you. Riverside County is the fastest growing county in California and one of the top 10 in the nation. The Coachella Valley is a big part of that growth. All you have to do is drive down the street, look at Palm Desert, look at Indio. Rancho Mirage is never going to be a big, sprawling city. We have 25 square miles. Right now we have a population of 18 to 20,000. We have very little undeveloped land left, and much of that is tribal land. So a lot of our economic development is going to be infill projects and along Highway 111. We are business friendly. We support new and existing businesses, and we support our excellent tourism industry. But we need to be an advocate for what I call conscientious growth. We must be strategic, thoughtful, and careful about what we improve, because these decisions will affect your quality of life and your standard of living for years to come. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Here's a good one. How does transparency in local government operations enhance community trust and participation? And what ways will you enhance the transparency if you're elected to the city council?
I'm excited for this one. Every team or business I've ever been involved in, without trust, it struggles. We need to have transparency as a city government, as council members. It all starts with that. We need to follow through with promises, and if there isn't trust right now at the city, we need to earn that back, and then we need to maintain it. Things that I would do would just be transparent, do what I say I'm going to do, and make sure that information is readily available for residents, answer questions, and just have open, honest conversations with people. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Mr. Goodman.
Transparency. That's a big word for Rancho Mirage. I talked to people sitting on the Affordable Housing Commission. In that multitude of meetings, they were all canceled. And that they felt virtually no say or were not part of that process. They were simply optics, not participants in choosing locations for the development of the affordable housing or anything like that. In fact, they found out the locations from the newspaper. Another backroom deal. How many backroom deals does it have to take to get rid of these people? We need to get rid of the incumbents. Enough is enough.
Thank you, Mr. Goodman. Mr. Weill.
Thank you, Matt. I handle transparency in the following ways. First, as I said earlier, I'm at the coffee shop every day to get citizens' input. I don't know how much more transparent you can get than that by talking to someone every single day about what's going on in our city. This helps me understand the needs and concerns of our community. With the use of technology, using agendas, meeting management portals, mobile apps to make it easier for citizens. Ensure that the city is putting tax dollars to good use and is making decisions that are reasonable, and the live streaming of meetings that residents can watch either on YouTube or the city website. We also broadcast our most recent council meetings on Spectrum Channel 17. You can watch it on any of those meetings, full transparency. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Weill. Mr. Avrashow.
Well, you can watch the council meetings from your home, but you cannot participate. During COVID, Rancho Mirage and many cities, all cities perhaps in California, went to virtual commenting, but Rancho Mirage discontinued it. Other cities continued it. So two specifics. One, have some meetings at 4:30 or 5 o'clock so working people can attend. Two, have the ability to virtually comment. So it's, Charlie, when you're at your home in July and it's 110, you can stay at home and comment. Look, transparency starts with the city council. And I've mentioned this before, I'm going to mention it again. With all due respect, Mr. Weill was appointed in 2012, Mr. Downs in 21, Mr. O'Keefe in 23. 3 out of the 4 were appointed. The 5th resigned, in terms of the others vindictive. Perhaps there's a little problem there. So chaos does not equal good governance. Let's bring stability back to Rancho Mirage City Council.
Thank you. Mr. O'Keefe.
Thank you. Just like having a strong conflict of interest policy, it's important that the city operate in a fully transparent way. And it's important that the residents know that and that they're confident that their business is being conducted at City Hall with transparency. High personal ethical standards have to come from within. I personally like to be squeaky clean about following the rules. And in the year that I've been on the City Council, I have never witnessed any improper meetings or discussions. One of my opponents says he wants to bring sunlight and transparency to the City Council, yet he seems very familiar with backroom deals. Maybe that's the way they operate in Los Angeles. There are no backroom deals in Rancho Mirage because those are illegal. And to make false accusations against your political opponents is the very opposite of transparency. It is flagrant dishonesty and it undermines the public trust. Thank you.
I'm running out of good.
Who he was referring to?
I'm running out of good questions. Serving on City Council is just one form of service. If you are not elected to the City Council, in what other civic projects or city commissions would you devote your time to the residents of Rancho Mirage? Mr. Lewis.
I would continue to work with our youth. I like to spend time with them and invest in our future leaders. Other than that, I'd continue just working on bringing renewable, clean energy to the residents, helping them save money on their electricity bills, and creating a brighter future for all of us.
Thank you. Mr. Goodman.
Well, charities, I want to get more involved with charities. I've always been very involved with charities. I believe in giving back and giving back to the fullest extent. And I also believe in small businesses, and I believe in getting rid of Project 25 or 24 or whatever it's called now, is, like I said, a direct hit to small businesses. You can't be on the council and actually have a business. It makes it ridiculous. If you're a business owner, you should be furious about this. It has no room in this city to have that law, and it goes against everything ethical, and that means ethics, which the council does not have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Goodman. Mr. Weill.
There are 12 different boards or commissions in the city of Rancho Mirage. Before my life on the city council, I served 6 years on the planning commission, and in 2008, I was appointed chairman. I was also co-chairman of the Redevelopment Successor Agency Oversight Board. I will continue my services in one of these commissions, as well as the numerous nonprofit charitable organizations. Serving the Rancho Mirage community is my lifelong commitment. I will always be available to serve. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Weill. Mr. Avrashow.
Well, I'm proud of what I did in my career. I'm proud. I did great things in Los Angeles, and Michael, I never heard anybody criticize my dear friend Zev Yaroslavsky in backroom stuff. But Zev actually officiated my wedding to Ann. He's a dear friend, and I'll make sure I tell him that tomorrow. Look, I'm an attorney. I've been an attorney for 30 years. If public service, I would devote my time to helping, giving legal aid and assistance pro bono to people in need, whether they be seniors in need, youth in need, or small businesses in need. So if I'm not elected, I'll be there. I'll be helping the community because that's what we do. I did it all my life. I was a court-appointed mediator. I tried to help people all my life, and I'll continue to do so. So you can criticize me for my past, but let me assure you my past is relevant, and I'm proud of it. And moving forward, I'm going to protect, preserve, and improve Rancho Mirage. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Avrashow. Mr. O'Keefe.
I have a lifetime history of public service. I've served on dozens of committees and commissions over the past 26 years in the Coachella Valley. I was named Coachella Valley Volunteer of the Year on National Philanthropy Day. Our valley is the philanthropic capital of the world. If you can't find a volunteer position here, you're not trying. I have served in municipal governments, health and wellness agencies, arts and cultural organizations, food insecurity programs, drug and alcohol recovery programs, hospice care, and elder abuse assistance. I am compelled to help others, and that has been my whole way of life. My experience in managing multi-million-dollar businesses and working with the public daily, helping folks with emotional needs, and a history of community service have led me to here, being on the City Council. I love Rancho Mirage. I'm proud to be of service to our residents and our businesses, and I will always stay involved. Thank you.
Thank you. This is our last question, and then we're going to go to the yes/nos. How would you rate the current collaboration between city government and the business community in Rancho Mirage? Does it need improvement, and if so, how?
I believe that the current collaboration right now with the city is strong and it's also meaningful. One of the examples that Ted brought up earlier was the Great Plates program, and that was something that proved to be very successful, and it did keep our businesses going through the pandemic. With that said, there's always room for improvement. Hindsight's 20/20. I played quarterback, and I used to have everybody watch and tell me everything I did wrong every play. So it's easy to sit here and look at it. So there is an opportunity to do things, but overall I think that the collaboration has been good. So I commend the city staff and the incumbents on what they've done in the past. But I think that with my business experience, my deep roots in the community, and actually actively working here for the past decade with so many business owners, we could take it to the next level. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Mr. Goodman.
I think the city's done an okay job. I think there's so much room for growth. And I think with my background in small business, I can bring those small businesses here, and I can bring them together. Katie knows me from the chambers and everything else. I've always been a small business guy, and I've always been there to help other small businesses. And I want to bring more collaboration with the city and the small businesses and businesses together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Goodman. Mr. Weill.
Thank you, Matt. We have an excellent cooperation between the city and the business community. I value the partnerships with the Rancho Mirage Chamber of Commerce and Visit Greater Palm Springs for their efforts in promoting tourism and small businesses. Visit Greater Palm Springs is developing a regional economic development strategy study. We support this study and will be able to use it to adapt and implement areas that offer growth and bring in business to Rancho Mirage. I strongly believe in providing economic incentives wherever possible. taking into consideration we are using the taxpayers' funds. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Avrashow.
Yes, Matt. We have a great Chamber of Commerce. Katie and her team do an excellent job. I'm a proud member of the Chamber. I think it's great. This Chamber is a partner with the city, but the city must be the senior partner. The city must lead. Going back to the study we're all talking about, we all anticipate the valley-wide study, but we still need that point person at the city, the economic development manager, the ombudsman or woman, to lead the way. So we want to have that easy contact. Every business would know, contact this person to assist you or help you in whatever way possible. The Chamber is great, but it can't do it alone. We all have to do it. Everybody here, it's great you're here. Many of you are members of the Chamber, and that's terrific. I've met many of you, and that's fantastic. I've met you from Gelson's to Bristol Farms to Starbucks. I've even seen Ted at Starbucks, so I can attest he does go, and we've said hello in the morning there. But in any event, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Avrashow. Mr. O'Keefe.
Thank you, Matt. The city has a strong relationship with the business community, and it starts with our close relationship with the Chamber of Commerce and its more than 600 members. We have streamlined the application process for business licenses at City Hall, and our staff is always available for consultation and collaboration, as are all of the council members. The city helped Las Palmas Shopping Center remodel, and now it's over 90% occupied. The city has helped with Ritz with their expansion, and there's much more. I attend every ribbon cutting. I meet frequently with the business owners and managers. The city strongly supports our tourism industry, and I personally have met with each manager, and I've toured each resort to know what their needs are. As a former businessman, I know that business climate is always changing, and having good relationships is an ongoing process. I'm pro-business. I'm always willing to work with our local business community, and I applaud the current Chamber program supporting small local businesses. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're going to change it up now. Each candidate has 2 placards. One is for yes, one's for no, and I'm going to ask a question. Please raise the placard up and let us know your answer. No comments, no arguing. All right, here we go. And this is meant to be pretty quick. If a developer proposed adding affordable housing units for a residential development in exchange for a zoning variance or tax abatement, tax credit subsidies, would you support it? Yeah, okay, good, thank you. Are you in support of limited short-term rentals in Rancho Mirage? All right. Some of these are easy. Are you in support of CV Link? Okay. Will you be an advocate for the COD Culinary and Hospitality Campus? Yes. Do you support providing tax incentives for businesses in your city to stimulate economic development? Should your city adjust regulations on businesses to promote economic growth? Should your city increase the use of public-private partnerships for real estate development projects? Should commercial property taxes in your city be increased to fund public services and address local infrastructure needs? Wow. Thank you very much. Let's give everyone a big round of applause. Okay, the final leg of our forum tonight will be our closing statements. Each candidate will get 3 minutes, and I'm going to mix up the order this time to make it a little bit different. Ooh, he's trying to get it exciting. Exactly. All right. First up, Mr. Avrashow. 3 minutes, closing statements.
Thank you, and Matt, this was terrific. Katie, thank you, and thank you again all for coming. It was great. It's a terrific opportunity to meet everybody and hear views. I challenged my opponents to a debate. They said, no, that's okay. This is a forum, it's good, but nothing substitutes for a debate. I want to improve Rancho Mirage, and it starts with a transparent and responsive city council. Stop appointing the cronies, and there's been a tendency to bully council members that the majority doesn't, or at least the old boys club doesn't agree with. You can talk to Meg Marker, and she can tell you how she was bullied. That's inappropriate. There have been smears against myself and Mr. Goodman already. Those have been posted, emailed, and I expect they'll be mailed. Unfortunately, we have a city that has done this in the past. There's been anonymous mailers. There was an anonymous mailer against a very fine city councilman, a gay man named Scott Hines. No one took a credit or blame for that. Everybody said, well, it just appeared. Then there was another anonymous mailer against the candidate, Kate Spates. Again, no one took credit or blame. Now, Mr. Weill, you're the only member of the city council who was there when both episodes appeared, so maybe you could shed some light on that. Look, there's a failure in the city on cell phones. We have to have action on it. There's a failure in the city of bringing in the community for decision making. And again, have some meetings at 4:30 or 5 so working people can attend. The technology is simple to allow virtual comments. In terms of these smears, I want to assure you I'm not going to be bullied. I know Mr. Goodman's not going to be bullied. We're standing up for Rancho Mirage. We're standing up for everybody in this room and everybody in our city. I have roots here. My wife and I decided to retire in Rancho Mirage. My mother-in-law is here tonight. She has lived in the Coachella Valley since 1995, Joanne. And to be blunt, my prior wife and her parents, my prior in-laws lived in the Coachella Valley. So I've been coming to the Coachella Valley in college for 50 years and with two, God bless them, two wives. The best one, of course, is Ann here tonight. But for 40 years, right? My prior in-laws had a home at Ironwood and then Sun City in Palm Desert. Joanne lives in Sun City in Palm Desert. So I have the experience, I have the skill, I have the passion to do this job from day one, and I'm going to bring the best I got. I'm going to give it my all. My first job was at Los Angeles City Hall. I hope my last job is at Rancho Mirage City Hall. So thank you all very much. We can do better, and I'd be honored to have your vote. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Avrashow. Next up, Mr. O'Keefe.
Thank you, Matt. On the day I was sworn in, I pledged to do my fiduciary duty and always place the interests of the city of Rancho Mirage above any other personal or private agenda. I'm proud to say that I have kept that pledge every single day. None of my opponents have made that pledge or anything like it. Instead, they have called the city dysfunctional, chaotic, and corrupt. Mr. Goodman believes that the anti-conflict of interest policy we passed last month is unconstitutional. That's going to be a problem if he's on the city council. Mr. Avrashow states that he opposes short-term rentals, and as an attorney, he will hold the line on legal fees. Yet in July, he accepted a $500 donation and endorsement from the very short-term rental company whose lawsuit against the city cost the city over $1.1 million in legal fees. If he's on the city council, that's going to be a problem. Rancho Mirage is not a dysfunctional, chaotic, or corrupt city. It is a successful, well-run, beautiful city, and it's one of the most desirable small cities in the country. The residents and businesses of Rancho Mirage expect and deserve excellence from our city council, and I'm committed to the core values that have made our city special: strong city management, rigorous fiscal controls, prioritizing public safety, superior infrastructure, and intelligent growth that includes economic development balanced with strategic, thoughtful, and careful planning. I commend my opponents for wanting to get involved with the city. I think all residents should. Get involved with your HOA. Volunteer with one of the hundreds of charitable organizations or the Chamber of Commerce. Then apply to be on one of the city's commissions. The other city council members and I all started that way. Look, I love Rancho Mirage. I know all of you do too. That's why you're here tonight. You cherish your quality of life and standard of living. I have to hand it to Mr. Avrashow.
Here we go.
His campaign has received 63 donations, but only 16 of those are from Rancho Mirage residents. When 75% of the money that you raise comes from outside your city, you have to wonder why. He has proven that he will use LA-style smear campaigns to win elections. Our residents do not want Rancho Mirage to become more like Los Angeles. That is the last thing we want. We want Rancho Mirage to continue to be the shining city of the valley. As Mayor Downs says, it's the gold standard of small city government in the country. If you like the work that I've done this past year, I hope you will support me. Please check out my campaign website, o'keeferanchomirage.com. I respectfully am asking for your vote on November the 5th. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. O'Keefe. Mr. Goodman.
Matt, excuse me. I thought the rules were we could not have personal attacks. Katie, I read the email. I mean, come on.
That's okay. Let's, Mr. Weill.
Thank you, Matt. And thank you, Michael, for your comments. They were very sage and extremely accurate.
Oh.
I am the best candidate because I have a long history of successfully representing the people of Rancho Mirage, and as a result, I have experience you can trust. I love Rancho Mirage and remain fully dedicated to leading Rancho Mirage by 1, building on the level of excellence our residents and businesses enjoy. 2, keeping our community safe by increasing the budget for our sheriff and firefighters, resulting in double the public safety officers than the national average. I support our free ambulance service to our world-class medical facilities in the event of an emergency for our residents and their guests. 3, guiding our city through thoughtful development and a broad spectrum of housing. And 4, maintaining a balanced budget and strong financial reserves. The 92270 zip code represents fiscal responsibility and a special way of life that connotates style, dignity, and panache. And I want to preserve those values. I work hard every day to serve as an accountable, accessible, responsive, and effective advocate for our residents and businesses. My experience in business, real estate, finance, and local government make me uniquely qualified to deliver results for our community. I am Ted Weill. I am proud of what we have accomplished together, and I would be honored to earn your vote on November 5th. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Weill. Mr. Goodman.
You know, they say a great leader leads by example. Well, I haven't seen very good examples here. First of all, how would you feel about a mayor that took off, or is going to take off, 150 days off in 2 years? That's ridiculous. Is that fiscal spending? I don't think so. And that's a true fact. Shh. No, I'm not even counting that. I'm counting 5-month-long cruises. Also, how do you feel about bashing a gay man because he was gay, and they left notes on his desk saying that he was a fag? And yeah, Ted was there at that time, so I think you might know about it. I'm tired of the bashing. They bash Meg Marker now. It's sick, and it's disgusting how it's going on. The backdoor deals have got to stop, and it's going to come out. And stop the recordings, and you know what I mean by that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Goodman. Mr. Lewis.
Thank you, Matt. Well, I think the reason we're all in this room tonight, and I think we're very fortunate to be here and be able to have these conversations in open forums, but we're all here because we love Rancho Mirage. When I went to school, I traveled all over West Virginia, Utah, went up and down the coast, and I wanted to get back home because of how great it is here. The reason I wanted to come back here is not because this place is in shambles. I wouldn't want to take over a city or help lead it if it was in just dire straits. I think that, our city's wonderful. My purpose for running is to make sure that we preserve and protect the great foundation that's been set here. I want my little guy to have a city that's in as good or better shape when I step aside so that he could take it on and lead to the next generation. It's really important that we focus on what's best for Rancho Mirage. I believe that I could work with any of these gentlemen on this board here today to get what's done for Rancho Mirage and do the best things for them. Public safety is something that we've all talked about. I'm committed to that. We need to make sure that the city's safe. Responsible development's another thing. We have some state mandated things that we're gonna have to accomplish. There's gonna be things that maybe not everybody likes. Somebody's not gonna like a new development with what's called low-income housing or workforce housing going in next to their place. We're gonna have to educate and inform our constituents about that, work with them to come up with the best solutions possible. These are things that I'm willing to do. I don't know everything. I won't know everything on the first day of the job. I'm 40 years old in November. There's gonna be things that I need to understand and learn. I'm not afraid to ask though. I'll work with Ted, I'll work with Mayor Downs to learn. Good thing I don't have to make decisions right away. I have time to research information and be able to do what's best for Rancho Mirage. So I look forward to your vote on November 5th. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause for all of the candidates here tonight.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank the library team for their assistance tonight. I'd like to thank the Chamber of Commerce, the board, the ambassadors, and the staff, and especially the candidates. We appreciate your time and your willingness to step it up to help keep Rancho Mirage great. Our forum is adjourned, and the candidates will be here to answer any questions you might have for them personally. Thank you.
Well, it sounded like
I'm glad I got that. Just proves a point. Yeah, there's stuff.
you got a great face.
Yeah, but are we going to get Lord Fletcher's back?
Right.
Thank you very much.